Hello and welcome to our acting session from Theatre Unboxed. This is our session for slightly older children. We do have a younger session on our YouTube channel for age 4 to 8 year olds. This is a little bit of an older session for our slightly older children. So today's session we are going to be doing some acting exercises, just a short few, but we're going to be concentrating on our voices. So to start off with, I would like to make sure that we're just a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more stretched out in our bodies. So can we all reach up to the sky and just stretch out our arms and our bodies? There we go. Just following what I'm doing. Give a bit of a shake off. Okay. Now I want you to roll your shoulders back. That's it, just copying what I'm doing. And rolling your shoulders forward. Fabulous. Okay. Now, in my sessions, you will often hear about me talking about finding a neutral body position. And it is so important, even if you're a 9-year-old and you want to be making sure that you're checking that you've got a neutral position, you're standing in a neutral way, and it will really help you to stop picking up bad habits. And it's really important as an actor to be able to find that neutral. So when you perform a character, when you play a character, you're not bringing in your own little bits of the way that you move or the way that you stand. So we're always going to start off and try and find our neutral. What I would like you to do is to stand with your feet hip width apart. Keep your knees nice and soft, they're not all stiff and you're not feeling really uptight and tense. I want you to keep it nice and loose. Make sure your body's feeling loose. Okay, lift your shoulders up and drop them. There we go. And now just check throughout your body. So make sure that your chin or your neck isn't sticking out. We want to make sure that your shoulders aren't curving over or curving back. So you can keep your hands nice and loose to the side, turn your palms outwards, and then we have a lovely neutral position there. Okay, make sure that your stomach and pelvic area isn't pushed out one way or sticking out the other way. Keep that nice and neutral. And as I say, keep your knees soft and your feet in a nice frontal position, hip width apart. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to concentrate a little bit on our breathing. So what I would like you to do is to do a yawn for me. That's it. You'll hear people all are in the, if anyone else in the room with you, you'll now hear them all yawning as well, because of course yawns are very infectious. Now I would like you to do a sigh, an audible sigh that everyone again can hear. Doing as one of those, it's quite nice actually, isn't it? Fabulous. Okay, now what I'd like you to do, if possible, it's good to close your eyes for this bit, and even for a little bit of one of the other bit of the exercises I'm going to get you to do. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but it's quite useful. So if you can close your eyes for me, and now I want you to just start, once I've stopped talking that is, I want you to start thinking about what you can hear. And I want you to concentrate on the external noises that you can hear around you. Thinking about what those noises are and really tune in on them. And now I want you to internalise those sounds slightly. Think about the noises that you can hear inside. Can you hear yourself breathing? Can you hear any movement from your own body? Okay, right, now we're going to just do some work on our breathing. So what I would like you to do is to breathe in through your nose for 3 counts. I'd like you to hold for 3 and then breathe out through your mouth for 3. Now I should say, if you start feeling breathless or you feel like you're not comfortable, don't worry, you don't have to do this bit. You just concentrate on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. So do this with me now. We're going to breathe in for 3. Hold in for 3. Breathe out for 3. Lovely. Do that again. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Lovely. Okay, now what we're going to do is, instead of just breathing out, we're going to add a little bit of noise to it. So we're going to do a bit of a hum, a okay? It doesn't have to be a really long one to the end of your breath. It can just be a short one. So breathe in through your nose. Hold. Lovely. Now what I'd like you to do is to do the same again, breathing in, holding, and making an audible sound, a humming sound. But then when you're, once you've started to hum, I want you to open up your mouth so it turns into an R sound, okay? So doing it with me. Fabulous. We're going to do that one again now, but I want to play around slightly with making the R louder and softer. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You can play around with it a little bit, but we just want to go from loud to soft, maybe back to soft again. Okay, so breathing in through your nose. Holding. Lovely. Okay. Right, now what I would like you to do is just get your tongue moving around a little bit. So if you can stick out your tongue for me. And release. We don't want to be, when we release it back into our mouth, we don't want to really pull it back in because that can make it tense again. You want to just really let it come out and then go back in again nice and gently. Okay, so pop it out again. Back in. Lovely. Can you give your jaws a bit of a massage? That's it. And now we're just going to get our tongue moving around a little bit more. We're going to do a couple of tongue twisters. We're going to say red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Do it with me. Red lorry, yellow lorry, 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 red lorry, yellow. I'm even getting confused here. Okay, next up we're going to do, oh, this is a nice one. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Can we do that one? Again, even I'm struggling with some of these tongue twisters. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Brilliant. Okay, let's get our tongue making some of those noises there. So we're going to do some g, 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 l, 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 g, 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 l, 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 g, 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 l, 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 l. Do you get that? I hope so. I hope you're following along with me. Right, okay. Now what we're going to do is, I've got a sentence here, a line. If some of my older students, you might even recognise this line from a monologue I think some of you have done before, but it doesn't matter. It's just any old line. I'm just going to put that a little bit, there we go, so we can see. It says, this time I'm going to do it. Definitely, no weakness, just finish it. Right, we're going to do this several times. You're going to really get to know this one line. It should be definitely stuck in your brain by the end of this. So what I would like you to do is I want you to say this for me, this line. And in fact, first of all, can you just say this line for me? Just read it. Hopefully you can see that okay. Brilliant. Okay, hopefully we've got that. Now I'd like you to say it again for me, but I would like you to, we're just going to play around with saying it slightly differently, because it's really useful when you're working on a script or you're working on a monologue. Sometimes you can get stuck in habits of saying things and you do it 100 times, but you'll keep doing it in the same way. And maybe you're missing something if you aren't experimenting with how you could say it slightly differently. So we're going to play around with saying it in a slightly different way and seeing how saying things with a different expression or saying things in a slightly different emphasis can really change how a line comes across. So what I'd like you to do now is say the line again for me, and I'd like you to say it with using very clipped letters. So I want you to say every single letter that is in this sentence. Imagine a very, very posh person. Okay, you're going to say that line now. Thank you. Brilliant. I think you've done that. Fabulous. Now I would like you to say the line again for me, but I'd like you to put a little bit of a nervous giggle at the start. Okay. You could put a nervous giggle at the end as well if you like. See how you feel. Brilliant. Okay. Hopefully you've done that one. Remember, you can always pause me if you're struggling with time a little bit. Next, I would like you to say the line again, but I want you to emphasise 2 of the words. So choose 2 of the words in this phrase, in this line, and really put some emphasis on them. So it could be, this time I'm going to do it. Definitely no weakness, just finish it. It could be that. You might choose to emphasise 2 completely different ones. Brilliant. Okay. Now I would like you to emphasise 2 different ones to the words that you just emphasised. So pick 2 different ones now. Fabulous. Okay. Now I would like you to try getting softer at the end. So say it at a usual volume and make your voice go really soft towards the end. So it's gradually getting softer. Have a go with that one. Lovely. Okay. Can we try it one more time? We are going to say this line a few more times actually, but for this little bit, can you say it slowly? So you're starting off at a normal pace and you're getting slower this time as you go along. Okay, I'm leaving you slightly longer here. Brilliant. Okay, fabulous. Good work. It does change it quite a lot, doesn't it? Just by some thinking about saying things in a slightly different way. Okay, let's add a little bit of character to it now, because I know that you're all very good character actors and actresses. So let's try saying it as though, now it might not make sense. It might not, you think, well, that person in that context would never say it like that. But it's just about the line. It doesn't matter what the words are really. It's just about saying it in that way. So what I'd like you to do is to say this line again for me. I did say we were going to be saying this line lots, didn't I? And what I'd like you to do is to say it as though you, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you the first one. And the first one I will do an example, and then the others I shall just leave you to see if you can do it. So for example, for the first one, I might do it as though I am a Shakespearean actor. I'm a King Lear on the stage, okay? It's a very important speech. So if I was going to do it as King Lear, as a very important Shakespearean actor, I would say, this time I'm going to do it. Definitely no weakness. Just finish it. Okay, so I want something dramatic. Can you have a go at doing it that way? You're a Shakespearean actor on the stage, making it so dramatic. Brilliant. I could just sense the drama behind the screen there. I know that was good. Okay, now I would like you to say it as though you are a parent explaining something to a very young child. Lovely, okay. Now I would like you to say it as though you are a very young child who is just learning to speak. Okay. Probably don't even need me told this anymore, do you? Hopefully you should be fully aware of these lines now, but I'll keep it there just in case. So now I would like you to imagine you are a headmaster who is very, very cross, okay? And you're going to say this line as though you are very cross. You are telling off one of your students, okay, while saying this line. Brilliant. Just about finished there. Don't know how much I bet that was quite shouty, wasn't it? Excellent. Hopefully you're not upsetting the neighbours too much. Right, next up, I would like you to be an OAP, a very old lady or an old man who's reminiscing about the good old days as you're saying it. So, it might not quite make that much sense in the context, but just give it a go. Brilliant. I know some of you are very good at playing elderly people, so I think you should have fun with that one. Okay, and can you be now, what can we do? Could you be a spy who is passing on some secret knowledge now while saying this line? Okay. Fabulous. Brilliant. Okay. You should have found quite a few different ways to say that now. Like, you can even have a go. You can pause me here, can't you? Just while I'm holding it up. If I hold it up like that, and you can have a go at maybe even trying a few different characters that you can think of that would completely change the way you say the line. Maybe you are somebody who's, maybe you're a hairdresser. I know we don't want to do too many stereotypes, but maybe you're a hairdresser in the hairdressers once it's back open, and you are passing on some gossip, and this is the line that you're going to say. So give that one a go. Have that a go. Or maybe you are somebody who doesn't have time for anybody else. Maybe you're in a real rush, you're doing something, maybe you're cleaning something, and you don't have time for anybody to really be in your way or interrupting you. Give those a go. See if you can think of any more. And as I say, keep working on finding that posture, finding that neutral, and doing those breathing exercises as well, so you're really aware of your breath. It's really important to be aware of your breath as a performer, as an actor, because you want to make sure that you can project, and if your breathing is uneven, it really strains the way that you can project. Even if you're not singing, it's all about using your voice. And also it can impact on character as well. Some characters might breathe in a very different way to some other characters. So really, really think about how you're breathing, find that neutral, and have a bit of play with finding a line and putting a different emphasis on it. Brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed today's session, and I hope to see you soon.